Hello, my name is Julio Enel and I'm a naturalist at Walter B. Jacobs Memorial Nature Park, which is one of Caddo Parish parks. Welcome to an introduction to acrylic painting program. Today we're going to paint a Christmas ornament on a bowl. The paints that we're going to use are crimson red, green yellow, grass green, burnt umber, burnt sienna, titanium white, and permanent black. And the brushes that we're going to use are filbert 8, filbert 2, a thin liner, and number 2 flathead. And today we're going to paint a hummingbird, a ruby-throated hummingbird, on our Christmas ornament. I have a few pictures to see the details, really, but we're going to paint this one. I always look at the other pictures, some from different angles, to get the idea. But this is the one we're going to be painting. Okay, get ready with your paints and let's begin. Okay, I paint the silhouette of the bird with white, because white base will make the whole thing, any color that I put on, look brighter. Okay, so after painting the silhouette of the bird, I'm going to start painting the lightest color of all colors that I'm going to use on the bird. And then layer after layer, after it dries, we're going to put the darker colors to give that iridescent effect. This is the one I'm going to be painting. So I'm going to put these lighter greens. For the lightest color of green, I'm going to use this green yellow. I'm painting the bottom of the beak because the top is shiny. The light hits and it looks kind of white. So I'm using the black with very light, watery. Okay, I'm going to use burnt umber with very watery color to do the wings. So the trick is you paint the lightest bases first. Lighter version of all we have. I'm going to put the white. They have a little white right behind their eyes. I'm going to put a little bit more black, make the eyes darker so I can make it shiny looking, you know, kind of like light hits the eye. See, I like this little circle around the eye. It will make it look like, you know, the eyelid. To put a very thin line between the eyelid and the eye. So I'm going to put the darker colors. I'm using this grass green, but I'm going to leave a lot of lighter colors visible underneath because that's the part that's going to make it look shimmery. So I'm going over that paint with this green yellow to put some more shimmer effect. Okay, so we're going to put the darker browns now, which would be the feather, which would be the wing and the chest. See, like this. Now we're going to do this area. And then we're going to, let's paint the wing now. I'm putting the scales right now. And I'm going to use burnt sienna, the reddish brown, to continue the brown part on the chest, this part. I'm going to go ahead and do the feet too. But before the feet, let's paint the branch. We can add just a little bit green here, like a moss. just using the crimson red all by itself on top of the lighter red, but I'm not covering all of the lighter red to give the shimmery effect. The part towards the beak is darker, almost blackish, so I'm gonna kind of use make this red darker with burnt umber. So I'm gonna cover the beak area, paint the feathers again one by one on top of red with this darker red to make the darker part where the shadow is. Okay, now I'm going to add the same dark brown but to the green part. So we're going to make this dark green a little bit different green with adding some burnt umber for the darker part of the top of the head. I'm just drawing thin lines so we can see the lighter green underneath. We have to make sure these lines are very, very thin. I keep doing this same mixture, grass green and burnt umber mixture to make darker. And I'm not covering everything, I'm just putting little lines in between the feathers. You know, I will leave the lighter parts lighter to be visible because that's going to be the shimmering part. This darker color is in between the feathers. Okay, let's do this brown part now. I'm using this burnt sienna, which is a reddish color, almost like copper. I'm going to mix it with burnt umber to make burnt sienna darker. Black in between the feathers and didn't touch the reds. Okay, this part, chest, brown chest, becomes darker as it gets closer to the wing and lighter as it gets here. Let's do that now. We're going to start with the lightest part and go to the darker. I mixed burnt sienna and white, and just, there are three of them there. And we can do the same thing. This is burnt umber, the wing is. Okay, so here, let's put some shadows in between the feathers and leave it at that. Burnt umber. This looks good. And then there are some very tiny feathers underneath. These are the flight feathers on. Okay, I think I'm happy with the feather right here. Let me show it up close. Here's the wing feather. Now I'm going to work on this white part. Let's put some feathery look grays there. These white feathers are overlapping with the brown at the bottom, so that's what I'm doing now with very, very thin lines. Very fine white lines. Well, we completed our Christmas ornament. Here is mine. I hope you enjoyed painting your ornament too. See you next time.